Okay. Now with the information just provided, that's a very busy job. Sounds like it's nonstop. Perhaps, is there a best part to being a freeholder, something that you share?
Well, I really enjoy going to events around the county, seeing the wonderful things that people do here in Elizabeth and in other parts of the county. I enjoy going to our parks for our cultural events, our concerts. I enjoy going to the schools, seeing the great things that our children are doing. Being at our meetings to talk about the budget, especially in times like we have now, where there are cuts in many areas. That's the part that's not quite as enjoyable. But look, it has to be done, and
Right.
and that's what we were elected to do, to make some of those tough decisions.
Okay. Now we understand that you've been very active in environmental issues for Union County.
Okay.
Can you tell us a little bit about our efforts in making Union County go green?
Well, we have the Go Green initiative that was started with Freeholder Angel Estrada some years ago, and of course Freeholder Chairman Dan Sullivan is continuing it. Vice Chair Debbie Scanlon is on the Tree Commission and works very much in that regard as well. We've had about over 1,200 trees planted in Elizabeth in recent years. That is partly funded by the Open Space and Recreation and Historic Preservation Trust Fund. You know, sometimes in the course of building and doing business, or trees have to come down, maybe they're diseased or they pose some other kind of hazard. But in that case, we replace every tree usually with more than one tree, every tree that has to be taken down. So we have the green initiative for that. We also have been working on the parks. The county park system is an outstanding park system, and two of the parks, Matano Park and Warrenanko, which are here in Elizabeth, we've done some major renovation and rehab on those. Matano has had the walking paths redone and some new restrooms put in. Warrenanko Park, we've had a project where a stream bed that was partially covered over has been opened up, and the flow has been rechanneled. A great public-private partnership with Merck and environmental experts, and now the people who use Warrenanko every week get to walk along this lovely stream bed, which really adds to the beauty of Warrenanko Park. Warrenanko is really one of the jewels of our park system. We work also with a lot of community and environmental groups here in Elizabeth, Groundwork Elizabeth. We've done cleanups with the Groundwork folks over in Matano. You've got great civic activism here in Elizabeth, and I'm always glad to work with people from Elizabeth on beautifying our parks.
Okay, and we appreciate that. Now you've also worked in park systems to jumpstart participate in BioBlitz, Adopt a Park, and Adopt a Trail.
Right, okay.
Union County has a very extensive park system that includes parks in Elizabeth too. Tell us what you've been able to do in this area.
Okay, well, we have, of course, Matano and Warrenanko. BioBlitz, your viewers may not know that BioBlitz is a program where every year we bring a large group of people into a certain area, generally a park, and it's environmental experts, professors from universities around the area, as well as volunteers, local residents, Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, and school volunteers who go to a place and set up a camp, and they actually take a survey of all the plant and wildlife in that area. They stay from 5 in the afternoon, and some people even stay overnight to count the nighttime creatures, and then finish up at 5 o'clock the next day. And you would be amazed at the diversity that we find right here in Union County. From, of course, people know that we have white-tailed deer up in the Watchung Reservation, but the insect life, the plant life, birds. When one of the BioBlitzes, we saw an indigo bunting, which birders know is a rare bird, and unusual plants and wildflowers. Usually we find on an average 400 to 800 species in just one spot.
Wow.
And we did that over along the Elizabeth River a couple of years ago. So it's always an enjoyable experience. Now, Adopt-A-Parks you mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
We would love to have the staff to keep every park looking perfect every day, but especially now with these tough economic times, we just can't do that. But there are people in the neighborhood who use the park all the time and notice, hey, you could use a little bit of help here. Maybe I could help pick up some of the trash, or help plant some flowers, or trim a little bit of the shrubbery. So people get in touch with our Parks Department. They become volunteers for an Adopt-A-Park program for a particular park, and that really can make a difference for some of the parks. And it's a great way for people who live near a park to be a part of what goes on there. And they give us important information about what goes on in the park. Sometimes, if there's something big that happens, like a tree comes down, of course, they call our Parks Department and let us know so we can take care of it. For little things which can add up altogether to making a big difference in an individual park. They're really a big help, and we appreciate the people involved in this program.